When I walked through the door, you asked me, how are you? And I was kind of hesitant because I don't feel really good today.
Okay.
I haven't been feeling really well since last Saturday or Sunday. So can you guess what kind of disease I'm suffering from?
No idea.
I guess I told you just once in a quite light way. I have basically chronic pain on my left jaw and left temple and all the way down to my upper back. Did I tell you that?
I don't recall.
Okay. Have you ever heard of TMJ?
No.
It's basically refers to disease related to your jaw. By the way, is the word disease proper here?
Not really. I was
That's
taking
what I
a note
thought.
of that.
Yeah.
I was
That's
taking
what I
a note
thought.
of that.
Yeah.
I was
That's
taking
what I
a note
thought.
of that.
Yeah. How am I supposed to call it?
A disorder or a
Disorder.
condition, maybe.
Oh.
I have a condition, I have a disorder.
It's not like I suffer from very unbearable, painful pain on my mostly jaw and neck and upper back. But what makes this condition horrible is that it never goes away.
Right.
From the time I wake up all the way to time that I fall asleep, these pain all around my upper back and neck follows me no matter what I do. I developed this condition about 10 years ago when I was serving the military duty. So another question. Is it proper to say I developed this condition? Or should I have said this condition was developed 10 years ago? Which one sounds more proper?
I would say how you said the first time. So I developed this condition, or what would we say?
I got this condition?
So you can say both, I guess.
It was about 10 years ago when I developed this condition over time. At first, I felt just a little bit uncomfortable on my neck, jaw, and temple. So I thought that it was probably I had a cavity or something in my mouth. But over time, the pain here, not only did it get more intense and serious, but also it did spread through my neck and then finally my upper back.
Okay.
Before this condition happens to me, no matter what kind of sickness or disease or conditions I suffer from, there were always, how do I say, treatments, medical treatments or solutions anyway. But this pain, which is called TMJ, was a total different story. I had many x-rays and multiple MRIs to see what's going on my neck and jaw and upper, back.
Yeah.
Then I had my body condition checked by multiple doctors, but none of these could figure out what's going on here. Although I obviously suffer from chronic pain, but no doctor could say what's wrong. That was what really made myself feel depressed and kind of hopeless. I went through 2 big surgeries, as well as serious medical treatments, including injections and pills to elevate the pain. 5 years ago, I finally started getting out of pain over time. Now, luckily, I have been able to lead a normal life just like other people, which did not seem to be really a viable option for me. When the pain was at the peak, I thought that I couldn't really live a normal life just like other people. But fortunately, the intensity of the pain have been getting, softer and softer, or weaker and weaker, and to the point that when today, I don't see any problem living a normal life. Working, talking, and eating, sleeping well, which would not be really possible in the past. It's not like the pain has completely gone. It still stays at some level, is, I would say, manageable. Not so serious that I feel like I should give up my life. But the thing is, when I drink a lot, or when I overdo on something, like working so long time, late at night, sometimes cause or bring back my pain from time to time. And that's what happened last Sunday. I got wasted, and then the next morning I felt kind of excruciating pain on my neck and jaw. From that point, I have tried to be as calm and as safe as possible without drinking at all, and without working hard at all, or without hanging around with friends at all. Just work for some time and take enough rest, have nutritious food and beverages. And now I've been feeling better and better. But I haven't really gotten back to normal condition yet, but it feels right.
I see. Okay. Are you worried that you've caused damage and it's going to remain? Or are you confident that it will subside again? Or are you confident that it will subside again? Or are you confident that it will subside again?
There's no doubt that a certain level of pain will stay anyway. But I've get accustomed to it and it's quite manageable so that I don't see any problem in doing anything in daily life. But I think I always make sure to stay kind of alert on my health and my body condition. In a way, it feels like sometimes a good thing that I have gotten this condition. I believe at some point, everybody is going to get healthy issues or diseases, especially when they are getting older and older. But in my case, it happens quite earlier, like 10 years ago. There's no choice for me but to take care of my body and mental health as well, which will benefit me for sure. When people are young, there are no health issues, so they just do whatever they want to do, even if those things do have negative impacts on their health at the moment or in the future. In a way, having been sick helps me to stay on alert and take care of my body all the time. I will not probably see as many health problems as other people do in the future.
It's good that you can look on the bright side of things. It's good that you can look on the bright side of things. It's good that you can look on the bright side of things. You have an optimistic point of view. Can I give you a little bit of feedback?
Very good.
As it says, just as you described, causes pain or tenderness in jaw and surrounding muscles and ligaments. It says here that the causes include teeth grinding or caused by an injury or arthritis in the bone there, or everyday wear and tear. Do you know the cause of your pain? Or
not yet, but
they never said?
What is that? Teeth grinding absolutely contributes to some level of pain on my jaw, but that is not the only cause.
I see.
That's the problem.
So what you're describing is quite a chronic condition. It's persistent. It's persistent. It's persistent. You said it's like constant, right? It doesn't go away. These words we use it a lot for chronic.
Long lasting. Okay, long lasting. I should have used that word. Long lasting chronic pain.
You were describing it as like it started here and then it moved. It sort of spread. I think was the word you used, which is great. You can use those words. I just want to give you other higher level words that we use in this condition. And one of them is radiating.
Like radiation.
Exactly right. It's this idea of like spreading out. So if we say like, oh, it started here in my jaw and it radiated to my neck.
Okay.
Something like that.
Radiates to my neck and upper back. Okay.
The word you used was spread, which is great. You can see it's in the definition here. And it's very often associated with nerve conditions. And it's very often associated with nerve conditions. And it's very often associated with nerve conditions, but not always just nerve conditions.
When I tried to figure out what actually caused this pain, I went to see a lot of diverse doctors. And I also make sure to go to the doctor who specializes in nerve and pain.
Right.
So that feels so true.
I see. Be careful with this one. It sounded to me like you said elevate the pain, which would mean increasing the pain. That's not a good thing. That's the opposite of what we want.
Okay.
Alleviate.
Alleviate.
So you do therapies or something to alleviate the pain. Or I think what you said was they gave you pills to help alleviate the pain. You described the pain as getting softer and softer or weaker and weaker. Actually, I would say the most natural would be less and less severe.
Okay.
Or less and less intense.
Okay.
Would
less
be pretty
and
good.
less intense.
And you said here, like, fortunately, it's not so serious that you should give up your life, right? The word that we would use there is debilitating. So if pain is debilitating, it interrupts your normal life.
Okay.
It's so bad, you cannot operate, you cannot work, you cannot do things. So what you're saying is it's not so bad that it doesn't affect your life. Therefore, it is not debilitating.
Debilitating. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think I can replace debilitating with disturb or disrupt?
Yeah, disrupt is probably better, I would say, because by definition, like disorders, especially like psychological disorders or other medical conditions, they're only a problem if they disrupt your life, right? Or if they disturb your life would be okay. Exactly right.
I want to put that into a certain context. I started going to a doctor when my pain started debilitating. Does it make sense?
Almost there. I first went to a doctor when the pain first became debilitating, to become debilitating.
I first saw a doctor when the pain became debilitating.
Became debilitating.
Became debilitating. Okay. Became debilitating.
So it's an adjective, like
So-
pain is debilitating.
How about the pain debilitates my daily life?
I don't think it's an active thing, like to debilitate. So it doesn't act in that way. It doesn't debilitate your life. We would say something like, the pain was so debilitating, it interrupted my daily life.
Okay.
Or something like that. You can see this example here as a verb. A weakness that debilitates him. We can use it to refer to a direct object in some cases, but it doesn't debilitate your life as such.
Okay.
It debilitates the person.
Okay. And how about this? By the way, it's far from the reality. For example, my wife nags at me so much and she starts debilitating me. Does it make sense?
In a sense, I guess that it's like it hinders you, right? In some way, it stops you from making progress. But we only really use it in the context of being sick. To be honest,
okay, that's a good point.
Like almost the only way we would use it is sickness. It makes you weaker in some way, like physically weaker, or like it hinders you. So it would be better just to use it in this one context. To be honest,
this must be right. I got injury on my right knee and it started debilitating me.
Sure, the injury debilitated you. Sure.
Okay.
You could
Very
definitely
good.
say that.
While we were talking about how sick I was, and I am, have you ever been sick so seriously in your life?
Fortunately, not really severely. I had a pretty bad ear infection where I couldn't hear for like 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
Only with your left ear?
That's right. It was almost like someone poured glue into the ear. They were debating, they being the doctors in the hospital, about surgery or no surgery. And fortunately, it was just the medicine, and eventually I got much better. And I've got tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Do you know tinnitus?
No.
It's where there's a constant humming in my ear, like a high-pitched, exactly that noise. And it's from listening to music too loud and going to too many concerts. And my eyesight's not great, but apart from that, I'm okay. But apart from that, I'm okay. But apart from that, I'm okay.
Okay. Then where did you get infection to your ear from?
I had a cold, like just a bad cold, and then after a week, usually the cold goes away, right? But it just caused a...
I'm sorry for that.
That's all right. It was a very minor thing, in the grand scheme of things. I'm very fortunate. Never had any major illnesses.
I told you getting, TMJ in my life in some ways helps me live better life and happier life. I was doing internship for 6 months at the time when the pain was at the highest peak. And I realized that I couldn't really afford to work in a normal setting. Sitting and working for longer than 20 minutes was almost impossible. I needed to stretch constantly every 10 minutes to elevate my pain. And that's when I started thinking about getting my own work. I imagine myself being the owner of convenience stores or something like that. But one upside of getting my own job is, I can take a rest whenever I want.
Right.
So that's actually what landed myself on this job that I'm doing right now. And it's another bright side of being sick.
And it's funny how things work out. For me, I didn't have a big moment, like a turning point. in terms of my work, which made me think I need to work for myself. For me, it was
work for myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it was much more a slow burn. You familiar with this idea of a
yes.
slow burn?
Yes.
Yeah, where I just realized over time, like I'm not good at working for other people. I'm not good at following the orders of people. Like
Yes.
I question everything. Why do I have to do it this way? Why is the system like this?
Okay.
And when you're working in very rigid conditions, and when you're working in very rigid conditions, and when you're working in very rigid conditions, it can be problematic, right? And it just eventually I reached a breaking point where I was like, I'm gonna try go for it by myself. Eventually I reached a breaking point. Eventually I reached a breaking point. Eventually I reached a breaking point. But it's
can understand
interesting. We've come to similar places, but different ways
Yes.
of getting there. Right?
Perfect.